Good morning or good afternoon, wherever you may be, or good evening or good night. This is Jen at JensArtyInclinations, a place to create, share and play.
Hi everyone, it's Junk Journal January and the details are in the description below for Meg Journals, our host, and her collaborator, Get Messy Art. So today is opposites. And right now you can see me trying to pull apart this serviette because it's a 2-ply. So I'm just pulling off the backing. I used a bit of tape on the edge to help me in the end. It was quite a stubborn one. I've separated others in this same pack before, not as stubborn. So, there you go. Must be the week for stubbornness. Or, just confusion. Or confusion and delay, as Thomas the Tank Engine says. Anyhow, what I was doing that for is because I wanted to overlay my serviette or napkin, I believe, as they're referred to overseas. And I just wanted to lay that on both sides of my page, but on opposite corners. So everything's a little bit on the page, but putting things on the opposite side of the page. So look, I'm just taking you through the process here. I'm using matte medium. I find this a great thing to stick down stuff like this that's really fine and delicate because it helps you not put extra holes into the piece that you're trying to put down. Although, if you just wait a sec, you'll see that I managed to put a great big hole right in the middle of that flower there. See? There it is. So at first I tried to fix it and then I thought, I'll just rip it off. It'll just be part of the effect. And then I think I covered it over with another bit of tissue in the end. And, look, I was having a very indecisive day. So everything was opposite. No, actually, that's not opposite. That's pretty much me, indecisive. But as I said, this is just showing you a little bit of the process. And what I'm using is a lovely little mini spatula that's really nice and soft. So it makes it really easy to spread out the matte medium. I do believe the best tool in the world is the finger tool, your own fingers. However, sometimes you just don't want to get messy. And sometimes, you can't do as good a job. Other times you can do a better job. Look, it's just contrary. So many, yes, it could be this way. Yes, it could be that way. All right. So as you can see, I'm laying it down. Now, where it's just going under the edge of the pocket, this is one of my centre pages, this lovely big map. I'm just tearing it off there, leaving a very slight edge on it because I didn't want it to stick. Sometimes your matte medium can get a bit sticky and so it can stick to the opposite page, more opposite. If you let it dry properly and if you do a really, really super, super thin layer, like I'm hardly covering this bit at the bottom, I'm putting a bit of paper in between just in case it does stick, then you can be safe. And in this case, I was. So I didn't have any sticking problems. If I'd done a lovely big thick layer or something like that, then I may have had more problems. Here I'm just using this is just a kitchen squidgy thingy. So anyway, dried it off just to make sure that, it was dry. Used a heat gun because I'm completely impatient. And here's another opposite. This one, I cut a flower in half. Well, first I fussy cut it out. Then I cut it in half and I'm going to, instead of, putting it in the middle of the page, I'm putting it on the opposite corners of the page. Now, I also have lots of gorgeous pianola paper. So I do have some of the stuff that's a bit shiny, but I've also got this lovely stuff that's nice and matte, like this particular one. And I thought that would be really nice to sit down behind. While I know the map is beautiful, I've still got the other side of that page and it does make the flower pop a little bit now that I've put, the other pattern on it. So it kind of balanced it all out. See, there's the flower how it was together and pulling it apart to do it on the opposite corners. Ha, not my kids in the background this time, next door's kids. So they're just sounding so happy. I love hearing kids playing outside. It's really lovely. I don't know, even before I had kids, it's a happy sound, isn't it? When they're all just outside having some fun together, all their make-believe games and everything. The innocence of youth when we thought we had the world on our shoulders. And, we all did, didn't we? But my life makes you wake up to yourself when you get older, doesn't it? Now, this is how completely lazy I am. See how I'm filling this water pen with my water sprayer? Because, if I had gone to the tap to fill it up, I'd have had to get up off my desk and off my butt. That just would have been terrible. I would have had to move away from my craft desk. Tragedy. All right, look, all I'm doing is I'm just splashing some paint over the napkin. It's just watercolour paint. No rhyme or reason, a little bit on the opposite corners on the pianola paper, but just kind of helping bring those colours in through the whole page. Then it's time to punch out my thumb hole. So I'm just doing a quick notch, one there, and using my massive big circle punch this time. Love to tell you there's a reason for that. I think, again, it was just the closest thing I had. Can you see how scrambled my head was on the day that I was making this, and perhaps still now? Anyway, re-inking up the edges. As you know, I always love to ink up the edges. And then I sort of carefully trimmed, because I really didn't want to slice the bottom of that pocket, and also tore the napkin off once it was dry. Then it was time just to stick down my pockets. I wanted to really make them nice wide pockets, so that's why I'm gluing them that way and squidgying out. And did the same on the other side, glued that down. So now I've got two lovely big pockets. And then I just played about with decorating the pockets. And the really cool thing is, voila, I had ready-made journal cards. So as I said, I'm trying to use up the things that I have at the moment, putting some lace across, a little bit of embellishment. So that's the first little journal card that is popped in there, and then that's the second. So the first one was mushrooms, undergrowth dark, and the other one is owls, and owls are in the dark. But there's foliage and trees, daylight, so that's a bit of opposite, but I wasn't really planning that. Then I just felt like it needed a bit of a frame to bring it all in, but a bit more bold than a simple inking around the edges. So I'm still using ink. As you saw, I put it on the acrylic block and then just added water, and you can paint with it then. So did a bit of a black border around the whole thing, and voila, there you are, my finished page for today, Opposites. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care. I'd love it if you could leave me a comment below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed what you saw today. And of course, please subscribe if you haven't already. I will see you next time. And in the meantime, keep creating. Enjoy.